Hey guys, check it out. Finally doing some sawmilling again. Today I'm milling up some beams for the house that I'm planning to build and just some other lumber, whatever I get out of it. Got a nice 14-foot Virginia pine, I think it is, here on my friend's Woodland sawmill. It looks and smells similar to lodgepole pine, but looking up on the internet, that's the closest thing I could come to. This is a pretty good sized log, so let's cut it up. We've got the Woodland mills here. It's a pretty small machine compared to the Norwood I had, but it's pretty sturdy, pretty well built. I've got this thing all ready to go, so let's cut it. That's a pretty good job. One thing about this mill that I don't like is these log clamps. They're very cumbersome and time consuming. And I really don't like this system where it just pivots on that. Now that's understandable if you don't have the depth for if you have your mill low to the ground, where these things can't just go straight up and down, and it doesn't have the distance to go down. But one thing I've found is that when I'm using these on a small piece of wood, or I'm wanting to clamp a cant to cut like 1-inch boards, if I clamp this all the way down at the bottom, it's got give this way, so it doesn't hold my cant nice and close to the bunks, and then like clamp it down real solid. So I don't like that. Another thing I don't like about this sawmill is these wide cross bunks. Compared to my Norwood, which had like, I don't know, 3/8 inch wide steel cross bunks with a stainless steel cap on top, I find that it's a lot easier for bark or something stuck in between your log or your cant and the cross bunk because it's so wide. One thing I do like about this mill is how well it cuts. It seems to have a really good cut quality, and I'm pretty impressed with that. Guide blocks are, I believe, made out of hardened steel, versus my Norwood had ceramics, which it does seem like these are definitely better. If you watch some of my other videos, when I still had the Norwood sawmill, I switched to roller bearing guide blades, and I definitely like those a lot better than the ceramics. Overall, I find that this mill, it does seem to be built better than the Norwood. I do think this little engine could definitely have more power. This is the biggest engine option for this mill. It's only a 9.5 horsepower, which is a little bit underpowered. Now we come over here to the log scale, the lumber scale, and I definitely do not like this lumber scale. There's another one here, and I found that this scale is very inaccurate. I don't know why they made it the way they did, but I definitely liked the Norwood scale much better over this one. So I found that in order to get accurate cuts for me, I have to put my tape measure on there and use a tape measure to get precise cuts. Now, as far as the system for the raising and lowering and the head on these guide blocks and everything, I think that's a better system than Norwood, and I like that pretty good. Alright, now I'm ready for my second cut, so let's go ahead and make that. Another thing about this lumber scale that I had to learn is that when you're adjusting, this goes in clicks, and so it doesn't always come out at the right spot. So if it doesn't come out at the right spot, you just go to the next highest click, reverse back down just a little bit until you're at the right spot. Now when the log's got taper in it, like this one does, this is what I do for my toe boards. I'll just raise up the small end and push a piece of board underneath there to raise the small end up a little bit, because I don't have my hydraulic toe boards like my Norwood had. Alright guys, so here I've got one beam. I already milled up two this morning. This is the second one. I'm doing 5.5 by 7.25 or 6 by 8 beams for my rafters in my house. I'm going to do an open cathedral ceiling with beams as my rafters. Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. There's definitely some things that I like about the Woodland mill and some things that I don't like so much. I think if I could combine this saw head with the Norwood cross bunks and the few basic hydraulics that I had with my Norwood sawmill, this would be a pretty cool machine. I find that it's definitely a lot slower than the Norwood, just with the manual features. All in all, I'd say it's a pretty good mill. Definitely a good mill for the money. Overall, I'm pretty impressed, but there is definitely some things that I liked about the Norwood better, but there's also things about the Woodland that I like better. So sometimes with these things it just comes down to personal preference, but this is my first experience running a mill other than Norwood. So anyways, I hope this feedback is helpful guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, thanks for watching.